All right, we're back. Welcome back to another episode of The Source. 2 or 3 bad days in a row, but we're climbing out of it tonight. Real quick before I start, we started a Facebook group. It's called Winning Cappers. The only thing in it is polls and threads for each game. No memes, no BS. It's strictly for coming to a consensus pick on each game as a group. I'm curious to see how we all do together as a group. So feel free to join that if you use Facebook. It's called Winning Cappers. Let's get it started.
Welcome to The Source. Hey, get the source. The Source. The Source. Hey, get the source.
First game up is Pistons versus Cavs in Detroit, and this line opened Detroit -1, but that was before the Pistons announced that their whole team is out today. So it went from Detroit -1 to Detroit +2.5 pretty quickly. Money is leaning Cleveland all morning, and we're still looking at Detroit +2.5 as of 10:30, 11 a.m. There's too many names to even read off to you on the Pistons injury report, so I'm putting them up on the screen. Those of you who subscribe to this channel know that I love playing the Pistons as home dogs. I've had a lot of success this year. I want to play them bad. I'd love to take Detroit +2.5, but I can't. I gotta take Cleveland here. I'll lay 2.5 points. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it on the menu. Detroit is that short-handed, so give me Cleveland -2.5. Put it on the menu. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Next game up is Celtics versus Bulls in Boston. This line open with the Celtics laying 6 points at home. Early public's on the Bulls, but sharps are heavy on Boston. 86% of early money on the Celtics. Money stays pinned on the Celtics all morning. Consensus line never moves though. We're still looking at Boston -6. Robert Williams still out for Boston. This is huge. He plays well under the basket for them. The two big question marks on this one, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, both questionable. That's the entire Celtics backcourt.
Real quick update. So Jaylen Brown is playing. They just announced it on Twitter.
For now, I'm going to pick Chicago +6 and the over at 220.5, but neither is going to go on the menu. I need to see injury reports before I make any final decision. So stay tuned to my Twitter and Instagram story. I'll let you know if anything gets added to the menu, but as of now, nothing's on. Next up, Sixers versus Warriors in Philly. This line opened with the Sixers laying 8.5 points at home here. Early sharps are on Philly too, 73% of early money on the Sixers. Money stays on Philly all morning. Consensus line jumps from 8.5 up to 9. Some huge question marks on the injury report. Obviously the biggest one being Steph Curry for Golden State, but also Philly has Seth Curry, Dwight Howard, and Tobias Harris all listed as questionable as well. So another game where we're going to need to wait to see reports before we make any final decisions. I really like Philly in this spot. I know Golden State's been hot. Despite that loss to the Celtics, I know they've been hot. Steph's been killing it, but look at who they played in their last handful of games. I mean, are those really teams where we can say, oh man, the Warriors are on a hot streak? I need to see them beat some good teams. They're at Philly. Embiid's healthy. Simmons is healthy. I'm going to put Sixers -9 on the menu for now. Chances are I'm not going to change it, but I'm not going to lock this bet in because if Steph Curry ends up playing, there's a chance we can get Philly -7. So let's keep an eye on it, but I'm almost definitely going to put Philly to cover on the menu. If anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story next game. Next game up, Bucks versus Suns in Milwaukee, in what should be a dope game. This game is probably going to be on my main TV tonight. Should be an awesome game to watch. This line opened up with Milwaukee laying 3 points to the Suns at home. Bets and money all morning are pretty much deadlocked even, but the consensus line does drop from 3 down to 2.5. Not 100% sure why. I couldn't see anything on either injury report. I don't know if the books are anticipating some Suns money coming in. Not really sure. Either way, we're looking at Bucks -2.5 to make our pick. All right, so those of you in the Facebook group saw that I said Suns early. I picked Suns in the poll in the group. I'm switching it up here. I'm taking Bucks -2.5. I'm still kind of pissed at the Suns for their loss to the Spurs the other night. They looked horrible. This is the Bucks in Milwaukee in the regular season. About as tough as a matchup as you can get. So I'm going to take the Bucks here. I'm fading Toasty. I'm fading the Alaskan Gambling Lord. Give me Bucks -2.5. Yup, I'm throwing it on the menu. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Next game up, Heat versus Rockets in Miami. And this line opened with the Heat laying 9.5 points here at home. Early bets and early money pretty much split right down the middle. Now, later in the morning, the consensus line drops from 9.5 all the way down to 8. I'm not 100% sure why. I'm guessing that Jimmy Butler is not going to play. As of now, I haven't seen a report. I still got him listed as questionable, but I'm guessing the books have heard that Jimmy Butler isn't going to play. That is the only logical explanation I could think of the line dropping that much suddenly. Am I boarding the Heat train? Nope. I'm taking the Rockets, and that's 2 days in a row. I've bet the Rockets. I covered with them last night. I'm betting the Rockets again today. which means, yup, I have officially boarded the Rockets Robo. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Next game up, Wizards versus Thunder in Washington. This line opened with the Wizards laying 10.5 points at home here. Early money favoring the Wizards. Consensus line moves from 10.5 all the way up to 12. And now when it hits 12, we see some OKC money coming back in. Hachimura is out, right? With him out, Alex Line questionable. I actually think OKC has a shot of pulling an upset and winning this game. I know that sounds crazy, but I will love to take those 12 points. Definitely going on the menu. OKC plus 12, definitely on the menu. I think they have a shot to win it. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Next game up, Pacers versus Spurs in Indiana. This line opened with the Pacers getting 1 point at home here. Early public was on the Pacers, but the money was pretty much dead even. Later in the morning, the money would take a pretty decent shift towards the Spurs. Seems like everyone likes San Antonio here. Consensus line never moved. We're still looking at Pacers +1. So what's up with the Pacers bus? Are we getting on? Absolutely we are, and I'm pretty confident in this one. I love the Pacers +1 here. I'm putting it on the menu. Buckle your seatbelts because we have officially reboarded the Pacers bus. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Next game up, Nuggets versus Grizzlies in Denver. This line opened with Denver laying 6.5 points at home here. Early bets and early money pretty much split down the middle. Consensus line jumps from 6.5 up to 7.5 later in the morning. This is most likely from the Grizzlies injury report. Holy shit, there are a lot of names on it. Check out all these names on the Grizzlies injury report. I mean, how are we supposed to make a pick? How are we supposed to place a bet right now with that kind of injury report? That's crazy. I'm gonna put Memphis +7.5 and the over down from now. Not putting either of them on the menu, just way too many question marks. Who knows what this game's gonna look like? Who knows who's even gonna be on the court for the Grizzlies? So Memphis +7.5 and the over. Neither on the menu. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. I'm actually staying away from the Lakers-Jazz game. I'm going to skip right past it. There's no data for it. I have no idea what to expect. The Lakers are sketchy recently, so I'm skipping it. All right, parlay of the day. We got a 3-legger. Today's parlay of the day is Cavs -3, Pacers moneyline, and Celtics moneyline for a total payout of +426. Play this parlay at your own risk. I never recommend you play the parlay of the day. I know a lot of people like to. That's it for the episode. Let's pick our spots. Let's be smart. We're going to shake this cold streak tonight. I'm feeling it. I feel it in my bones. I will talk to you on Twitter. Let's make some money tonight. The sauce is out.